Hey, family. Hi, guys. Tap the mute button on. Welcome to the TSLI Talk Show. I am your host, Shemaya Hawkins, and I'm here with the crew, Justin, Hygier, and Azalea. We are so excited to have all you guys a part of the show. But before we start, I just want to let everybody know what TSO is. TSO is a youth organization based out of Abilene, Texas. We were created to give the teens a forum to speak their views and share their ideas globally and within their community. Also to help forth bring future teachers, leaders, judges, and ambassadors. Also to bring back the remembrance of upholding the Ten Commandments. And like I say every single Monday, we love y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, because if you don't already did, do it again. Because sharing is caring. So we got a lot of show for you guys today. We do have a special guest, and he is clicking on here in a minute. We have some breaking news. So Justin, who is on the relaxing side of the show.
Hold on. Let me get this camera right. And I'll then break that news. Breaking news.
Breaking
and
music.
That was pretty energetic today. So, I mean, there's been a lot happening, and I know since we spoke last night, Maya, the young autistic man in York was shot by the police in what was a tragedy, and I know a lot say the cop couldn't have done anything else, and seemingly, that seems to be the case. But at the same time, it calls into question more structural ideas. But yeah, this I think 18 or 19-year-old kid was he did come at the cops with a knife, and they shot him, and there were protests, and I don't know, a lot of people don't like the tone of the protests or whatever, but I don't think that's why you're protesting, so that comfortable people like the tone. But anyway, I don't know if we want to talk much about that. I know we had some other things to discuss, but that just happened last night, so it's pretty pertinent.
I just want to say, a lot of people are divided when it comes to this. I don't know how I feel. I know part of what we said about police reforming is training, using the resources, like when 911 get the call and say, for example, an autistic kid or kid with any kind of mental health crisis happening, we should not send the police, not because they're bad, which some of, like most of them are, but that's not the point now. The point is they're not trained.
Right.
Nurse, I had to go through training in mental health facility for a whole year.
Yeah.
So I can learn how to deal with a combative patient, with one who is under distress or in a crisis. The burden is not on the victim. The burden is on us. We failed as a system. The health system failed. And if we have trained professional, social workers, mental health crisis that comes and answer that phone call, and the police can stand in the back just to protect,
Right.
Don't have them in the front line for protection for them too, because they're not trained. Simple.
Right. And definitely speaking on to that, we've seen this happen multiple times in previous cases. We also saw with a young man who was shot in the park, who also his mother had called because she had problems with his mental illness. Yeah. And they're not really set up, just like Hajir said, set up and trained to actually come out and de-escalate these situations. And I mean, it feels like Harrisburg right now is kind of torn in between the two. A lot of people are saying, well, should we even be protesting, because he had 4 prior incidents where he stabbed 4 other people. So some people are, they have their hands are tied and they don't really know how to deal with the situation. But nobody deserves to be shot and killed. I mean, we've seen many instances where you have people who have weapons and knives and different things like that, and they are not hurt in the process of it. They're shot in the leg, they're shot in the arm. There's so many things that can happen, but we do see this division because people are saying, well, should we protest, or is this just a, like what should be done? But there is no training. There is no training. Exactly what Hajir just said.
Like if he's mentally disturbed or in a crisis and he came at me with a knife, as trained to shoot person, shoot to kill, he did that. And that's why we need to not have the police act as the military. You are in U.S. soil. You're not in like overseas in a war zone. So you're not supposed to shoot to kill. Shoot the arm that has the knife. I much rather have a kid with one less limb than having the person dead. Shoot the leg. I don't care where you shoot, but stay away from the fatal area. And that's something a nurse, a doctor, someone trained will know. And
right.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I have a question. So we know that it seems like in those kind of situations that someone always get hurt or die. Okay. So what do you think should be done? Do you think that another organization should get involved as far as, because you're talking about talking about training. Like, isn't there like a form of martial arts where you can use, not that you're hurting a person, but somehow taking the weapon away without
Yeah,
taking their life or something like
Well, that's
that?
the ideal point of martial arts in general. I think that you can, and I think perhaps the way to go or simple self-defense. But of course,
Yeah,
all those
before guns,
things
I mean,
aren't going to necessarily always work either.
yeah, because I believe before weapons, and those are the kind of arts that people used to use probably over there.
yeah.
But
I meant, Azelia, to answer your question, not like the martial art part, but like for example, in the hospital we have a team called the Rapid Response Team. So when a patient say is combative, or the patient is very, like, what you call it, like acting up, or dying.
Resistant or delusional, sometimes they might not know what they're thinking you're doing.
Yeah, or even if they are facing a heart attack, like we call those scenario, we call like the rapid response team. It has doctors, nurses, blah blah blah, group of teams that are trained. And I was trained not just as a nurse. Like I went to school for what, 12 years, but then on top of that, I was trained as a rapid response nurse. So when they do that call, we drop everything in our hand and we go to that room, and we know how to address it. Like, we know how to shoot
Yeah.
from a Halidol shot. If they're very combative, you give them you have a doctor right there, and he's like, give them a Halidol, like give them something, and it will calm them down. For example, if there is someone in having a heart attack, we start doing the CPR. The team know each other. We know each other. We work well. We have a leader. We have this person is giving you direction. Those people are doing whatever they're doing. So if we can implement that in real life, when the 911 receives that call, and you say, my son is hitting me, he's doing this and that, then the call should be sent to mental health. Say, for example, doctor, nurse, whatever, someone who is a social worker, and a team of people. They will go out. We will take the burden away from the police. Like, we will free them to do what they should be doing. That's the first thing. Second thing, those people will come and they will know how to calm this person down, because they work with those kind of cases. And if the police have to intervene, they can come. Like, they can be in the back, part of the rapid response team. You see what I'm saying?
And perhaps you mentioned this when I was going, but even just so, for some people, the sight of a police officer could cause them to have that reaction, rightly or not, whatever. That's just them, and they could see that and say, "Oh no, I genuinely fear for my life."
Yeah.
And perhaps it's someone else and they don't. Although he apparently had a history of stabbing, so I do not overlook the challenge of this case, but to me, it seems like by far a structural issue that could have been perhaps preempted at 20 different spots along the way. And I also don't think you could ignore Lancaster's history with police violence either. There's a reason people just came in that intensely and started protesting. I'm not sure if they did any property damage or not. I'm not sure, maybe. But I mean, there's a reason. That just didn't come out of nowhere. That's just not a national mood. That's a Lancaster mood. That's a Lancaster response.
Right. And welcome, Aria, for just clicking on what we're talking about. We did have a shooting last night in one of our neighboring cities in Lancaster. Was it Lancaster?
Yep.
Yeah, in Lancaster, and that's what we're talking about right now. Just to run it real quick. He was a 27-year-old, and he was called because he was he hurting his mom, Justin? I read the article, but I forgot.
I'm not sure if he was hurting her, but she was concerned, and I think she was the one who called. I'm not sure if he hurt anyone.
Right, and came and he charged at them at the officer with a blade, not a blade, but a knife, and they shot him.
That's so
And he died. Yeah. Yeah, so our cities right now are torn. because people are saying, well, should we protest for this? If protests have erupted already in the city of Lancaster, should we protest, or should this one just be a wash because he already had 4 prior incidents?
I don't know.
You're cutting out there pretty hard, Maya. Can't really hear you.
She said the city torn between either we should protest or sit this one out because he has priors. And I would say it doesn't matter if you had 100 priors. It shouldn't be a death sentence. But again, with this one specifically, I see that force was necessary, but not shoot to kill. They should shoot him. I mean, not shoot him. They should have a nurse, but we don't have that yet. We should have a psychiatrist. We should have a social worker working with him. But if that's not happening now, the police should have shot him in somewhere, arm, upper arm. I don't care.
Yeah,
Right.
at this point, are there not other options than guns yet? This is 2020, and I talk about this all the time on my show. I'm tired of living in, the 18th or 19th century with flintlocks and, single cocked rifles. Like, this is the 21st century. We got other options. We must.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Your sounds weird too. Like when you said that, it's like, I'm like,
I just feel like there's definitely things that we can do as far as our police. This is why a lot of things have changed, and this is why this is why a lot of things have to change with our police. And that's when that defunding the police topic comes in hand. I've been reading a lot about how they about them
Maya, you're
defunding the police and with us. And I'm
no,
sorry.
you just keep cutting out.
cutting out. Your internet is.
I'm not sure why. It looks like you got a strong connection, if I can tell by this. Maybe that's mine. I'm not sure.
Am I cutting out with everybody?
Yeah. 4 great bars on here.
Okay. What about now? I'm sorry, guys.
Now you're.
No, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's when I'm too far away from my mic. But this is when the conversation about defunding the police comes in, and we really have to examine that. I think that our police definitely need more work. They definitely need a rapid response team, like Hajir said earlier. I feel like that's really important to address the situations that we have happening. And I also feel like if defunding the police happens, I feel like we won't have that option to have a rapid response team or have an emergency team go out when we have situations like that.
Yeah, certainly so. Anyway, you want to hit the other one? Is Doctor? I'm sorry, I won't call him that now. Is he coming on? Do we have him?
I will
I'm clicking on.
maybe.
I'm going back and forth with him.
Okay.
Right?
Then do we want to hit on the second of our news topics?
Yes. Yep.
And this is I don't know if you've seen it on your Netflix selection, but the movie Cuties is getting a lot of pub lately, a lot of attention.
As we
Yeah.
Aria, go ahead. I saw her eyebrows go up. I know she got a lot. Go ahead, Aria.
Yeah, I definitely have not seen it yet, and I
It's so
don't
beautiful.
remember watching it. But I saw it actually from social media, and there was a whole bunch of uproar about how is this okay? How is Netflix allowing this to happen? And then at the same time, also censoring a lot of people of color and LGBTQ relationships and those kind of things. And of course, amongst my age group, we're in awe because I don't understand what the entire purpose of that movie is, and of course, it's horrible what the basis of the movie is. But like I said, I don't plan on seeing it at all.
Well, I think the idea is it's really just supposed to be a coming of age story for a young woman, and I just don't think they had to get in any way as graphic as they did with it, because apparently they got graphic. They got not pornographic, but pretty graphic.
Well, Rising Young Girl. I read the review. I saw some pictures, and to be fair, you have to see it, but I'm not even going to entertain that and watch it.
Mhm.
But if something felt, fishy and it smelled like that, then it is actually. It stinks. So why do we sexualize young kids? I don't care if your idea is to talk about uh, uh, human sex trafficking. Yeah, you can do that without using children. Get them
Or graphic images.
graphic images, and the pictures that I saw, circling in social media. If my daughter did that, that would be in a different. She would be somewhere you don't even want to know.
The reason why I wanted to talk about this topic, there was a viral video that went around, and it was a mother, okay? And in the beginning of the video, you hear her screaming at her daughter, she's yelling at her daughter, she's hitting her daughter sitting in the back seat. You just hear her saying that this is unacceptable. You're not going to be doing this. I didn't raise you this way, okay? And then when you get to the end of the video, you see what her daughter actually did. Now, the same moves that the girls in the video in that movie, Cuties, I have not watched it, nor will I support or watch. But from the posts that you see on Facebook and Instagram, she was doing the same things. She was twerking. She had her leg up. All these different things. And this is what we always teach on TSO. Like, whatever you do at home is what your children are going to take with you out. But we have sexualized our children. Just have become normal. Like, if you look at the clothes, you go into any Walmart, Target, or anything, you go look at clothes, you see crop tops, you see short little shorts, you see all these little things that for our little kids, not our teenagers, but for little babies.
Yep. And Halloween.
And
they start off when they're babies. They start off when they're babies.
Right. And subliminal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Subliminal messages that
it is okay to.
We just look over like, oh my God, adorable.
And I don't really understand that because, you have young people that are snatched up off the streets all the time, either sex trafficked. You have pedophiles who love to prey on little kids, especially little girls. So why even promote clothing like that?
I mean,
why try to dress them up in that way?
Heck, we can take it back to the, I'm sure it goes even further, but the whole dance moms craze of the aughts or the early 2010s. I don't know what you even call that at this point, but it doesn't matter. That was, very different. But of course, even go back further, the super young kid pageant circuit, which always just had this ring of just uncomfortableness to it.
Yeah.
Right, and I mentioned that on our last episode that we did, like the John Bonet story.
Yeah.
You see those you see those photos, you see her videos, and you're teaching them how to be sexy and these different poses and the makeup and that. It's toxic.
Yep.
Like this cycle has to stop where it begins, and it begins at home.
And I am all with the hashtag that is going on now. I don't even want to see that. But any show or a channel that will subject our kids to this kind of behavior and expose them to such things, it is not going to be supported. So we need to keep it up. And I'm glad there is warriors out there who are fighting every day. And don't get me started with the Halloween costumes for kids now. It's almost Halloween time.
I was just thinking that. I went to. I was like, yo, what?
Day, and I wanted to God help.
Like, why are we dressing our kids? Why are we dressing our kids like this? I just don't get it.
As long as parents go out there and support this kind of stuff, then it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep going. It's going to be a trend.
It will be a trend. So
I feel like the creators of girls, like the producers and directors behind that, as well as the people who are creating crop tops and those kind of obscene outfits for children, are kind of hiding behind this guise of I'm empowering these young children, but that's not at all what you're doing. And over sexualizing a child who doesn't want to be sexualized, because children don't mean to be sexualized, is actually doing the exact opposite of empowering them, because as you sexualize them, you're telling them your body, your worth, and your beauty comes from of course, your body, and that's not the message that you need to send. I think that young girls, I think it's twofold, because I think that society will over sexualize young girls continuously, and then at the same time, like, society will like stigmatize young girls and repress young girls and repress sexuality in young girls, and I feel like that's not. First of all, young girls don't even mean to be sexual, but I feel like there needs to be a happy medium of telling a young girl, like, your sexuality is worth something as you get older. Like, you should be able to come into yourself as a young woman and not feel oppressed, but at the same time, you don't do that by means of over sexualizing.
That's the discussion between the child and their parent and the health class. I think that is to be addressed in the curriculums, where you know what you're teaching, it has a purpose, and it's controlled in a controlled environment, but not.
Yeah. And all right. What you said about control made me think of something, and I think that's a big part of it, just control. That if you can start that sort of influence over young girls or just young kids in general, but specifically in this case, young girls, through sexualizing and saying, like, this is how you become empowered. You get to say how their empowerment works their whole life, and they but also in a much more, I think, banal way, it's for commodification. This is how you sell stuff. This is how you sell this clothing. It's how you sell movies. It's how you sell TV shows. It's how this is getting so much publicity, so much free publicity, that will probably end up making it more money than it would have in the first place.
Yeah, you're right. But we need to have a line. I know that's sexualizing everything. We did talk before about why do I see in a burger commercial or on top of, with the bikini on top of a car to sell me that car? I mean, we did talk about that before, but that a discussion. But then when you come to kids, you're crossing a big line. This is just not supposed to be crossed.
And it's like the first situation is questionable, but the second situation is just horrible.
Yeah, it's criminal. And go for it.
I just recommend that, us as parents, we take the first step, and what we allow in our houses and what we allow our children to watch, hear, and see. And that's where it all starts. Not supporting these platforms is a big thing, because that's where you hurt them at. So we have AB on. Justin, we can only have so many on here, so I'm gonna drop our camera. If you can go ahead and introduce AB and start the conversation of our topic, okay?
Hajir, would you like to introduce him? Because I feel like you probably know a lot more about him, because I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My bad. I just don't know him. Just being real.
It will be
okay, let me bring him up.
From the amazing.
Okay, I think you dropped Hajir there. There you go.
Oh my God. No. And this is why Maya does not run this, y'all. Pray for me.
It's so nice, though. It's so relaxing. I can just sit here and just talk.
Oh my!
Is this how your lives always are?
I love it.
Hi, AB. Welcome to the show, everybody. AB, if you could introduce yourself. Yourself for us.
No worries at all. Yes, my name is AB El Siraj. I am CEO and founder of iWorld Coaching, a life coaching / mentoring services that we've been in existence for the past almost 3 years. Currently we are in about 13 different countries, and we do service roughly about 130 different clients globally. So, my background, I was a therapist for roughly about 7 years or so, and then definitely started my own mental health agency, where we provided intensive in-home work with clients, underprivileged clients in their own homes. So we wanted to bring in the services, the provider, into the clients' homes. Most of the clients that we serviced are the underprivileged, the ones that they could not afford regular private insurance. So a lot of them did have Medicaid as or Medicare in a sense, and some, the local, government did, pay for some clients to receive some of the services. So after 7 years in business with the mental health, concept of thing, we came to a realization that a lot of our underprivileged, individuals, we do have a lot, just a taboo when it comes to mental health. Individuals don't see that, especially minorities. They don't see that as a priority. So their access to it, or even just them being in it but not taking fully advantage of the help and the services for them, that was a huge barrier for us. So one thing we did is we took a step away from that. We created a life coaching agency. We use and utilize a lot of the same methods that the therapeutic methods in our teaching, but we want to become a lot more approachable and available for our clients, and it worked. Now I think we're reaching out to a lot more individuals, and we're connecting more, especially within our own communities.
Oh, that's
And
great. That's
a small
please.
description of what AB's been doing. He's very resourceful, and I had him before. He was very helpful, and he's not just helping people here in the United States, but like he said, 13 countries, including Sudan. He actually went there. He went to UAE and different other countries to help young kids, empower them, and help them utilize their maximum potential. He helped during the pandemic, the crisis. He was offering free consultation.
I think we might be running a couple minutes behind, right? I think.
Me? Yeah. So anyways, can you guys hear me all?
Oh, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
So he is doing a lot of other things to help in providing services. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of the show. So, we've been talking about coping during the pandemic. This is one of our last episodes about just because he had such a vital, essential position in helping people with coping. So what are some of the things, AB, that you've seen happen with not just the pandemic, but a lot of our racial injustice, a lot of our protests? Like, what are some things that have been happening that you can see?
It is a lot, and to be honest with you, people are hurting. People are suffering, and with everything that's going on around, that's happening, or nowadays with the media and everything else. I mean, it just like it seems like no one is getting a break. You take a couple steps forward, you take just take a deep breath, and then all of a sudden something else happened. Another video just launched. I think it's been a long past, let's say, since March, to be honest with you. I think this year has been an amazing year in so many different ways. But I think one thing that if it taught us to be strong. I think we're resilient as people. We're able to adapt and able to go through whatever that's just life is bringing towards our way. So one of the biggest things that we're seeing right now with everything around us, that I tend to see a lot of people just not breathing, going through the process and going through it, and just a battle after another, after another, after another. So some of the work that we're doing with our clients, one of the biggest things we ask them to do is to stop, just stop for a second, take a step back, work on yourself, because at some point, if you're not able to, that self-care is very critical. If you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not able to go out there and take care of other people. And so this is one of the biggest. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When you said breathing, did you say breathing or
Yes.
grieving? Because
Breathing.
I thought you said grieving, and that actually felt pertinent as well. Just because it feels as though this is just one long, continuous trauma
Right.
that you never quite get a break from, that you never get to heal from. I'm not, saying that this is a personal trauma on a level, but it's almost like a societal trauma in which you both can't get a breath, and you can't take that moment to ever focus and just try to recenter yourself. Of course, to be honest, I did last week. I took a week off of work. I was planning on just going somewhere, having fun, but honestly, I found it much more productive to just get my life a little bit more in order. I'm not saying it's in disarray or whatever, but just take some time to focus, to just reevaluate what's important, and it's so hard to do while you're in the midst of it.
100%. I agree with you 1,000,000%. I think grieving and breathing, both of them do apply. One thing I encourage each and every one of us, to be honest, just to get a little bit more structure. One of the things that I do with me that I carry every single day is like my actual daily planner, which is, I try to engrave time for myself within that day. So every single day I do have something in there called the hour of power, which is just my time. So what you did as far as thinking about taking a whole week off. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do every single day, take an hour at least at a minimum to enjoy that cup of coffee, to enjoy that walk, to drive to the nearest, let's say, river and just sit there and just, see the nature and connect, to read a book, to listen to music, to do the things that we're not allowed to do because of everything else that's going on around us. So I think it is a critical part for us just to take a step back. And the easiest way to do this is for us just to get a little bit more structure as far as how we look at our day. Our day is not just that 9 to 5 or 10 to 5 and then get online and just get into that, like our other role as far as going out there and fighting and then helping and impacting. We have to take care of ourselves. We got to take a step back. And if we're able to find just a time every single day throughout the day, just that your own personal time for you just to take that breath, to relax, to read, to do what you need to do, I promise you're going to come back swinging because you did take that rest. You took care of yourself. And now you're able to go out there and take care of the world.
Aria.
Yeah. Can you
I'm
hear
so
me?
Yeah. No, sorry. I was just waiting for someone to chime in, and then I waited and I waited and I waited, and just nothing happened. I'm like, oh no,
We all
that didn't go right.
and we're all being good now and trying to allow
Yes.
us to talk. Aria, do you go first, hon?
Yeah, so funnily enough, I just did an interview this past week with Eve Ewing, who's an author and a sociologist at U Chicago. And so I'm also going to be featured on another podcast, which is why I was connecting with her. And I was just explaining to her my problems that I was having undergoing the college application process and the immense stress that comes with it, of course, because I'm meant to figure out pretty much my life at 17 years old, so it's stressful to say the least. But she gave such similar advice that you're giving, just, make sure that you take that time for yourself every single day and to really indulge in the things that you want to do. And she was also saying, take the time to breathe, and of course, as Justin said, to grieve and really be in touch with your emotions and try to do that on a daily basis, at least, just because it creates a safe space for you in your day, in the disarray that is my life, and the stress and e-learning and everything that comes with it. It's definitely important to take that time every single day and connect with myself. So I agree wholeheartedly.
And we will see, do we expect seeing more if we don't do take care of ourselves, especially the young people like Aria. For us, maybe with age, we develop some form of not just tolerance, but the mechanism to protect ourselves. But for young people like you, Aria, or my daughter, for example, Melaz, we're not just navigating new waters like college and for you college application, but you have to do it in a new and traditional way. And we're seeing a lot of suicidal attempts. AB, what would be your advice for the young people? I know for us, we can just do something that we like, but for someone who's just like her, saying she has to do all this college application and doing everything online, and basically at age 17, you're going to feel like this is the whole world weight on you.
Yeah, at an age where you think you're supposed to know what you want from life, but in reality, you probably don't. You kind of know what you want from the next 5 years, perhaps, but unless you're one of the very unusual, unique people who just have known what they wanted to do forever, which is great.
A lot.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But if you're not,
I say.
You shouldn't feel bad about that, you know?
Right. And I I just wanted to chime in right quick, AB, before you answer Hydira's question. I just wanted to say, Hydira, what you just said, Azalea had the comment that it is tolerance. Like, I feel like us big kids, we kind of just like, go with the flow. But I definitely feel like COVID did impact me because I'm a very like outgoing person, and to be even more confined, like already, I don't know how to explain it, but it really did have an impact on myself. So it is a form of tolerance almost. For like, you can go ahead and say what you gotta say.
I mean, okay, no offense. It did have an effect on me, but in a great way. Because you know what? I had time to reflect, thinking about what I'm going to do with my life as far as my health, what I need to change. Like most people, they'll probably see this as, oh my gosh, the end of the world thing. What am I going to do? The world's coming to an end, blah, blah, blah. But, and everything in life, we all should try to look at the positive thing in it, something that you can gain from it. Like, it didn't affect me like that. Like,
I mean, we're also
Yeah, no, I go through
look,
cycles.
maybe we're just
Sometimes I feel like that, and sometimes I feel like it's all coming down on me. I honestly go
Right.
back and forth because maybe I don't know. I think I'm combo intro extrovert, and maybe that has something to do with it too. I don't know, but it feels like sometimes, especially in the early stages of this lockdown, pandemic, whatever we want to call it, I definitely did that a lot. Then I got moving on that, and I feel like progressed in that way. But also, maybe it's something you got to do regularly. You got to keep reassessing where you are and what you can do.
Right.
I was like, man, this means I can go plant. I can start a garden. What else am I going to do for the wintertime? Make some scarves. I don't know. Work on my schooling. Like,
This-
cool. Come on. And with a rose.
This over there.
What would be your advice?
Yeah, AB.
Jump in because
So,
you don't-
can you just repeat like Hadra's question? I know like her voice was just going in and out for a quick second, if you don't mind.
I said, what would be your advice for the young ones? And,
Yeah,
and
I cannot hear Hadra for
She's-
some reason.
What would
She
you
said, what
ask?
would be your-
Sorry.
She said, what would be your advice for the young people who are having a hard time dealing with coping?
Who don't have coping mechanisms or strategies or those natural defenses built up?
Right.
Perfect. I think seeking help. It's probably one of the best way to deal with this. A lot of the young people that we work with, I mean, see the idea of seeking help as a weakness. I disagree with you 100,000,000%. Seeking for help is a strength. I
Yep.
mean, and again, and I think it's reaching out and get that information from some people that know what they're talking about. Because another thing is we tend to see is we go out there to our friends and families and we try to get some of that advice from them. And at some point, if they don't know what they're doing or they don't have that ability to deal with whatever that is, it becomes very difficult for them to give. So I think reaching out, learning, asking for help is definitely critical. I tell I mean, it's interesting going back into it. When March happened, this whole Corona situation started. I was actually in Dubai at the time, and I remember having a workshop like right there, and we talked about like just the impact, like what we're gonna see for the next year. And one of the things that I said to people, I say, well, we're gonna have two type of people in this world for the next few months. Ones that they are gonna see this as an opportunity, and they're gonna get so excited to take a step back and trying to reevaluate and move forward in life. And those that they are gonna get shocked with everything that's going on, and they're gonna beat themselves down and just stay down for a little bit until they realize it's just tiring. Let me get up and let me continue to move forward. And that's what we tend to see. So advice for everyone, for the young people who are, reach out for help, ask people, just ask the questions. And if, and we have, like I said, there's a lot of different programs, a lot of different free programs out there, just specifically for youth to help assist. There's a lot of free webinars, a lot of free seminars. If you are started school already, there's the counselors in school that you can always reach out to. I mean, and there's a lot of help out there. I mean, just your listeners right now, I mean, listening to this particular podcast, some of the things that you guys have been saying for the past, past few episodes, it's definitely, it's challenging their minds. It's allowing them to open up their eyes to see that there is different help out there for people to go out there and reach for it. So I think, just, take a deep breath, find someone that's able to help and reach out. I think that would be the biggest thing. And for our parents, I mean, if you realize and you recognize that your kid is struggling, reach out. I mean, don't have to wait, until they reach out to you. I mean, you can sense it that they are struggling, that they need that help. Make that call, pick up the phone, call someone, get that help. At least just maybe, participate in a free session. If, I know a lot of therapists are offering free, sessions. Get on it, at least just to get to understand what's happening, what's going on, so you're able to continue to move forward.
So perhaps maybe this isn't your specialty, but I'll ask anyway. What would you say to those who want to take, sorry, it's a motorcycle on the street, who want to take part in the protest movement for racial justice, and that itself is stressing them out? Like, how would one achieve a balance while still, if in your heart, like, you feel like it's not duty, it's not the right word, but like it's your responsibility to stand for that people in a public way, that in itself is increasingly stressful too. Like, how exactly would you balance that?
100% agree with you, 1,000,000%. I'm one of those individuals. I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't go out on the streets and protest. I mean, again, that's not the role that I play, because I understand it, and I understand the effect on my own mental health and my own capability.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think to say to people, I mean, each and every person have a role that can play. Sometimes just being silent is a role. Sometimes just tweeting something, it's your role. Sometimes just putting a sign up, it's a role. Sometimes just talking about it and starting the dialogue is just a role. So no one can say that what you're doing is not enough. Educating and learning and going out there and just listening to conversations, that also can be a role. So I think I tell people, check yourself, check your mental health initially, because at some point you do not want to take on things that's gonna have a negative impact on yourself. I mean, I've seen, we work with certain clients that had mental breakdowns, just that they're not doing enough, they're not going out there, they're not doing enough, and then you're trying to explain to them that whatever you're doing, whatever you feel that you're doing to help impact this movement is, and you feel that that's what you're doing and it's right, go for it. I mean, that no one can tell you the major impact that you're making. Sometimes it's like not listening to the news and not watching the news, for example, or starting these dialogue with certain individuals, or just just tweeting something, or taking a picture, or just changing your screen to a dark black screen. That in on itself, it's a protest. You don't have to go out there and be full out, because I mean, there's different roles and different people have that specialty, and they're able to take that lead on certain things. So I think checking yourself, understanding who you are as an individual, what you're able to bring into the table, and again, and listen to yourself. Your mental health is critical, because again, if you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of the world.
And perhaps that's a time when you feel too stressed to protest, is you could go back and read and learn and just brush up on the theory, and you don't have to be in the thick of it in order to be progressing in yourself,
Right.
100%. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I love it. So I do have a 7-year-old and I do have a 4-year-old, and I do have, and I'm married. My wife is very, very active. I mean, an activist. She's, she's an influencer. She has so many different things, and she participates in so many different ways. Again, her role, and we had the conversation with our 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, trying to explain what activism mean, and one thing that we did with my 7-year-old and 4-year-old, we just going out around our neighborhood, cleaning the neighborhood, just picking up trash and going around, and when people wearing just dark black shirts, doing that, and so when people ask, like, what are you guys are doing? I mean, that's our part of protest, being active, being present, being, and bringing awareness. Within, we did that for a couple of weeks. At the third week, I think we had about 15, 16 other children within their own age. Their school jumped up and took a step to it, and actually acknowledged, because like during school, that this is something Lathan will bring up. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. They went and brought in some few speakers. They came in. They spoke about it. So it's like and he's so proud that this is the role that he played to have his school change the way they did things and the impact that they made. So like I said, like never ever minimize the impact that you're doing. Keep your head up, start a conversation, start a dialogue, and then I think just go for it.
Right. And one of the biggest things that AB that you touched on was that you don't have to be actually, watching the news every day. You don't have to be on social media every day. You don't, because sometimes seeing those things can keep you in a state of mind and a mood to where you're not evolving, you're not changing. Okay, it can put you in that negative state of mind. So having that ability to take yourself away, step back from social media. They call it a social media break. Step back from the news. Because let me tell you something, the news is an industry, just like everything else in this world. And they play these things over and over and over and over again. So that people just be like,
You're breaking when you move.
oh, my bad. I talk with my hands. Y'all know this.
Chop that microphone. Doesn't
Yeah.
deserve it.
But taking
Can't hear you.
taking that break away from social media and all the negativity that's happening around just regular media would really help. It would really help. And you know what? That's what I had to do. Like during right in the midst of COVID, I had to turn the TV off and just stop. Because you keep watching it, you build up this anxiety, you build up this anxiousness, and you just have to stop. And even if we're not out of COVID. I mean, we're not out of the pandemic. We're still there. Even if we're just living our best lives right now. But that's the point. We're still in the midst of it, and doing steps like AB said, taking that mental health break.
And can I share
Yeah, go ahead.
I share a secret with you. For me, my time on social media is very timed. I only spend 45 minutes daily on all my platform. I do have roughly
Wow.
about 16,000 followers on social, and that's what they get out of it. Only 45 minutes. I never log into my social media early on because I don't want to mess up my whole entire day. I don't even pick up phones, to be honest, before 12 o'clock. That morning, it's very critical for your own mental health. Do your thing, you do your reading, your reflection, your spirituality, do the things that matter. Spend the time with the kids, cook the food, do the things that you want to do. Towards the afternoon, that's when I get on it. I spend some time just doing a couple posts, but I understand like my purpose when it comes to social media. I'm not there to read and go through. I mean, there's few things that I look into, a few individuals that I'm following. I mean, and that's all what it is. Other than that, my 45 minutes is up. I don't have to worry about it until the next day, and that's just just to stay sane. To be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
45 minutes. That's a lot. That's not
You know,
much. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Justin, I agree with them because you know what? Nowadays, everybody is always in their phone. They see everything in their phone, and like I think it's really it is a blessing to just step away. Like I tell my little one, you need a break from that. Just give yourself a break. Get to know yourself a little bit more. Be creative. Find something to do that's productive instead of being on the phone all the time.
Especially at that age when their minds are still forming.
Yeah.
Right, at any age.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm trying to absolve myself so I can still be on there 3 hours a day. No, it's not good. It's not healthy. Ironically, as we broadcast from a social media site, but perhaps this is a little different. Maybe I don't know.
Staring at a screen isn't really that healthy. So when he's talking about him only being you talking about yourself spending only 45 minutes. I mean, that's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to hear what Aria has to say, so I'm gonna drop my mic and I'm gonna bring Aria because I see her eyebrows. I got Aria's face down. I know what she has something to say because her eyebrows be like
Social media all day, every day.
I love it.
Social media queen.
Maya is so hilarious. That is so funny. But I feel like I'm in the same boat as Justin right now, where I'm trying to make myself feel better for spending as much time on social media as I do. I definitely, it's admirable to say the least that you spend only 45 minutes a day on social media. I need to get there definitely, but I think that that's such an important thing, like you said, to focus on your spirituality and have that time in the morning to wake up and come as you are into the day and not ruin your day, as you said, by getting on your phone on Instagram and seeing something horrible that's going to put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day. I feel like that's something that my entire generation, because we have all grown up with phones, like there's not been a day in my life where there hasn't been technology or the internet access to me. accessible to me readily. So I feel like that's something that my entire generation needs to work on, but it would definitely take a lot of effort to do so.
Yeah. I maybe I'll try to do it someday. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not.
It's a big thing, but as you say, like you structure it very purposefully. Like you have determined what's important, and you make sure you take care of that. That's
And I just want to throw out there, listen, guys, TSO is not saying that you got to turn off all social media. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that you can't live your best life, a little Instagram, you know, a little Snapchat. You know what I'm saying?
Close your boat.
We're not saying that. But taking that break for yourself to develop skills that you want to develop, to plan to achieve those goals that you have on your goal board. That's what that means. Taking some time to get those things that you wanted accomplished done.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I don't post a lot on social media, but I be on it every day. Okay, y'all see this ad? Not this one, just this one. Every day, okay, guys? So it's just taking that time. You can be on social media, but let's build some skills.
yes. And may you please save your hour and 15 minutes of social media time on Mondays to watch a TSO live talk show and nothing else. Please don't Please don't stop watching us. Watch what's important. That's a TSO live talk show every Monday.
That's awesome.
Right. Go ahead, Justin. Hajira. I know you were about to say something.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is, from now until November 3rd, be out there. Do something. Go. Have a goal of registering even one person. Talk to your neighbor, talk to your friends, your families. This year is very important. And I'm not saying any election is not important, but I'm not going to get tired of saying this year you have to vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Your kid's life, your grandkids, your neighbor, everybody that you care about, lives depend on it. So do that. That's all I can say.
Right. And don't forget, there's different groups, different programs. There's different things just like AB and his family did. They started out in their own community. There's things that you can do to start developing goodness in our world. Okay. And sometimes it's just the smallest things that you think is small, but impact in major ways.
Right.
And it's as simple as, clicking on the Hajir Talk Show, clicking on Reach Out with Justin and Dylan, clicking on the TSO Live Talk Show. It's different things, just those things, even though they seem small. Sharing, liking, commenting, picking up trash, washing cars, just talking to somebody. Sometimes just speaking to somebody can just help. So there's a million things that you can do for coping. But the number one is that you have to work on yourself first. And you have to let go of the distractions,
Social media.
that are around you in order for you to work on yourself. Okay, people. So we're not telling you, hey, you can't be on social media.
Yeah, there's funny things on
social media is great sometimes,
but it can be addicting.
Yeah, there are funny, entertaining, informative shows on social media from 6 to 7:15 p.m. on Mondays. But anywhere else, no, not at all.
And I want to throw this out there. It's as easy as clicking on the Finn Bolden show. Y'all thought I forgot. I ain't forget at all. Sometimes you just gotta click on those shows. Just listening to positive stuff. Yo, it works. I told y'all about my experiment. I don't know if y'all remember, but I'm gonna remind you. So for a month straight, I would go to work listening to rap music. And when I get to work, I'm like, don't want to be here. Like, oh my gosh, why am I here? Okay. And then I stopped listening to the rap music and I started listening to positive alternative music. And it changed. It just completely changed my state of mind. Okay. So it's just doing little things like that, okay, that will help. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Aria up because I see her eyebrows. Pause for the call.
Maya, you've got to stop with the eyebrow commentary.
Man, she's just there watching her eyebrows this whole time. She's like, oh man, there they go. Your turn.
But yeah, as Maya said, tune into Fembolden. Mondays are also for Fembolden, TSO and Fembolden. Actually, this week we talked about suicide prevention, and it was honestly a really, really heartfelt episode. It's on the shorter side, but if you have some time, definitely go tune in. If not, go check our website, www.fembolden.org, for more resources about suicide prevention, donation links, anything Fembolden related. You got it there.
This mute button, y'all. This mute button is gonna be the craziness of my mind. But I just want to thank you, AB, for coming on. And for you even trying to come on. That means so much to us. Okay. And our door, the TSO family door, is always open for you to come back, especially in our next series that we're going to be doing. And we just thank you. So before we go, I just want you to give you the time. If you want to give out any information where people can reach out and speak to you.
Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. So we are, you can, our handles are, I will coaching on Instagram, Facebook, or we are on Twitter. Our website is www.iwill.today. It's one of those things that's, like I said, just reach out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So for all the, listeners, if you just want to get in and call in and just that today, TODAY. So you even just want to just talk about whatever that is that you want to talk about, just definitely reach out to us. We typically offer free like consultation. Like there's no limit to how long is a consultation. We get a lot of people that will just call in to talk and just want to some resources. If we're not able to help you, we will direct you to individuals. We do take initiatives. We do take like we took an initiative on sexual abuse victims. That was one of the biggest things that we did last month. We offered free therapy actually, and we partnered up with about 25 different therapists in the region, and we're able to provide roughly about 95 individual survivors some free therapy for 3 months. So these are some of the initiatives that we do take on. Like I said, I mean, our role, we understand our role, and we understand what we're supposed to be doing, and we tend to just again be behind the scene, but we do a lot of great work out there. So if you have any specific initiative that would like for us to help out on, just please bring it on. I mean, we're here, we're ready to work. Our team, we have about 6 different individuals working for us, so we're very, very happy that just to be out there and make a difference. And to be honest with you, like we're not worried about impacting the millions of people. Just the biggest thing for us is how can we impact one person, because that one person can impact another and another and another and another, and I think that's how we leave a legacy. So we're here for you. Thank you so much for the invite, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your awesome show. I'm a big fan, by the way. I mean, I've been listening, and I joined you guys a couple of times, but I do tune in and I do listen. So truly appreciate for everything you guys are putting out there.
Thank you for coming on. It's been great. And no, Maya and Hajir were like, "Oh, he's great. Like he can just fill this whole show with wisdom." I'm like, "Really? Are you sure?" And of course, they were correct. And I stand, not corrected, but because I trust them in the first place. But I'm like, "Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you.
Much love, guys. Much love, guys. Thank you so much, for the opportunity, and let me know anything I can do to help."
All right, so everybody, don't forget that's www.iwill.today. Go on there, support. Also, if you want to reach out to any one of us, Justin, Hajir, Azalea, or myself, our door is always open. You can also reach out to the TSO family as well. Don't forget, guys, to tune into the Hajir Talk Show. She has some awesome people on her show, on her shows. Because there's more. This is all week, okay? So go on there, go on the Hajir page and like that page and follow it. Same thing with reach out with Justin and Bill. Be a part, encourage them. Sometimes it's just that one heart or that one click on Facebook that can, really brighten somebody's day. So support our whole cast, and don't forget the Fembolden Talk Show every Monday at 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. Just gotta throw that out there. So y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all just out here Netflixing. I know y'all are. Instead of Netflix and chill, we gonna Fembolden and chill. All right. So click on that Fembolden show and encourage our young people. Justin, that was good.
was pretty good.
Emboldened and chill.
Yeah.
Swag. All right, so we will see you guys next Monday. Don't forget, if you would like to be a part of the TSO Live Talk Show, all you have to do is send us an email, tsolivetalkshow@gmail.com, or you can message Hygeia, Justin, Azalea, or myself. We love you guys. Thank you for being a part of our show, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.